That's the best part of having the turrets. When I'm like from far range, but I do love mowing them down. Who is hitting us? Is he hitting us from there? Damn, man, that elite dropped. You saw that? That's what I really love about this build is that it's good close range and it's amazing far range. It's gratifying when you see them drop that quick. I think there's an elite there. Yeah, look at the captain. You saw how far he dropped in that distance? It was tough to see him amidst the poisons, but I'm sure you guys definitely saw him. I didn't have my buff, my bad. That alpha dropped, baby. I'm just gonna no-scope this. And that's always been plaguing my mind here. We're gonna play some things here. Like, the further away you are, the safer you are, but the more damage you do. Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, the Fice, back at it with another video. But if it's your first time here, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Come join us on Discord. It's the best community ever. Come follow us on Twitch. That's where we stream live. We also stream live on YouTube. And last but not least, guys, unfortunately, we don't have YouTube monetization. So if you want to support the channel financially, but also get something out of it, check out that YouTube description below. We have an Etsy storefront link. We have coffee mugs and t-shirts and more things on the way. And we also have a Patreon link. Let's get into this content, guys. I didn't want to kill too much of our time, but this is a Borealis. I think that's the proper way of saying it. I always say these things incorrectly, guys, but this is a Borealis freeze build. Oh god, it's a freeze / toxic build. This is what makes this so amazing, because the damage stacks. So what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna first talk about, like, not only that it's that, but it's also a long range damage build, but long range where you kind of feel very strong and very safe. And the further away you are, and your turrets will help you keep you safe, the more damage output you do. So usually, like, I know if you play a lot of builds, if you've seen a lot of our vids, like our Devastator vid or a Trickster vid, you kind of have to be close range. Like with the Trickster, you have to shotgun, teleport, blah blah blah. This, you pump out so much damage and you're still far away and you're safe. And even with close range damage, you still do amazing, which I absolutely love. So that's the thing I wanted to kind of share with you guys, something that's really fun and amazing, and you'll enjoy it. So let's get into the gear. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna talk about the weapons, then we're gonna lead into the skills. Then after that, we're going to talk about the set bonuses with the armor, and then we'll talk about the class tree, and then you guys will see some full gameplay of what it's like just doing one run solo and how gratifying it is to see things drop. So the first thing is, guys, we are going with an item that actually is meant to be cold. It's literally called absolute zero, like below zero type temperature. So we are going with the absolute zero assault rifle standard variant. It has crit damage, status, and long range damage. Now, guys, I want to voice this really quick before I even go further into detail about this. My gear on the video you're gonna see, I'm not even fully decked out on the statistics. So we're doing this on C15, and we're missing long range damage, increase percentage, status power. For like this item, we're missing all the buffs for bonus firepower and long range damage. Just think how powerful this is when it'll be fully stacked. Like, this is missing the status power. I think I only got one item fully decked out. Nope. Maybe I have one item. Let's see. I don't know, but the damage output is so good. Guys, you have to try this build. You're going to definitely love it. So I wanted to show that before I even go any further. So we want the absolute zero assault rifle build. We went with ultimate freeze bullets as the, obviously the thing that we're going to go for here. And the reason that is because we're going for a freeze / toxic build. Yeah, the freezing turrets are really good, but then what that means is that if you didn't have your weapon that used freeze, then you would always have to be attacking specific targets that your turret, your cold turrets, aka your cryo turrets, are going to be attacking. And I kind of don't like that. I like having the freedom of choosing what I'm going to attack. So being able to put the freeze debuff to do a lot of freeze damage because of the set bonus is going to be really awesome. And obviously, because we're dealing with the Borealis build, we're going to do 90% more damage because the frozen enemies. So that's why we have that there. We also put Dark Sacrifice into this. Now, because we're doing a lot of range, I actually have no problem doing this, guys. And how fast things die, I don't stress when it comes to doing Dark Sacrifice. And that's the reason I did that. Now, if you watched our other Technomancer vid, highly suggest you watch it. Yeah, I put Damascus Offering as the second thing. You can put whatever you want here as your secondary. If you want to put something that's Life Leech with Fortress to kind of be defensive. In my video, you'll see I always have absolute 0 up, and I'm always killing things. Yeah, it gets a little slower if your debuff goes off, and there's only one time that it actually happens for us, so check it out. But for the most part, if I played it correctly, I would have had it up the entire run. And then last but not least, I have Disintegrator. This doesn't matter or whatever. It's just really absolute 0 is the gun that you should care about, and this is what you should be decking out with Ultimate Freeze Bullet and Dark Sacrifice. Now, let's talk a little bit about the skills. The skills I went for was the Cryo Turret, obviously to freeze, which is going to help a lot. We did Blighted Rounds to actually do more damage and put Toxic on the enemy. With the spec on the talent trees, we're also going to be able to apply vulnerability. And last but not least, we are using Blighted Turret. Blighted Turret is going to also help us in the scenarios that if our bullets did go down, and this is more of a multiplayer thing, because say they're stealing your kills, then you have this to still pump out some damage. The only takeaway from the Blighted Rounds will be that the piercing won't really be in effect. You'll be using your standard piercing statistics that you get from the talent trees. So let's get into the good stuff, guys. We are using the Crown of Borealis Monarch. I'm going to just go from the top down. It's 4 pieces mainly. So if you get 4 pieces, this is basically the build you're going to be doing. If you see really quick, I got rid of, what is it called? Cold Snap. I just didn't like the Cold Snap utility on it. It had some stuff of reducing armor by 100%, but I didn't like the cooldown in general. I like having a lot of uptime of killing things left and right. And if my Blighted Turrets go down, if my Blighted Rounds go down, I have Blighted Turret. So for all these armor builds, we kind of basically scrapped the, what is it called? The AoE Cold Snap. It wasn't great. It wasn't great in my honest opinion. And if you're going to be doing long range damage, putting something so close up front, it's not great. So that's the reason why I actually changed the chest. But let's look at the pieces of what we do for the mods. So obviously we're going to use the same stats that we're going to be doing for Borealis, but we have the Cryo turrets for 2 turrets to drop down. So we could do a lot of crowd control, but also do damage when we want to switch to them. And we put Captain Hunter to increase the damage against elites by 25%. Now, for the Broodmother Mantle, there's 2 ways to go about it. I went super defensive on this, so I was looking for an item that I could get. I actually got it from the shop from Brianna. Yeah, it was either Brianna or Tiago. I think I'm like 90% confident it was Brianna. Because yeah, I was waiting for her stuff to reset, and then I saw that it had the damage absorber. So I was like, you know what? That's a good defensive one for this, and then I'll just add mitigation from death to increase our armor. So by default, we have our armor at 103k. And with mitigation from death, when we're aiming down the sight, we also get 45k, 45k, 45k. So we get another, oh my god, so that's 90k plus another 45. So that's like 135, a little over 135, a lot. So we basically hit the 230k mark on armor, so it's a good place to be, especially when you're dealing with monsters. So I actually feel comfortable, and it also gives some resistance, you know. So that's the other part with it. So I kind of went for that, and this has bonus firepower, close range damage if they do get close, and long range damage, which is not bad. It's really nice. It kind of makes the Absolute Zero have a little bit of a all around damage in this case. So now we went with the Waste Colossal Borealis. What we put here was Euthanizer for having the 25% increased damage against toxic enemies, and also Freezing Boost, which also does 15% increased damage so when they're frozen. So think about this. With the Blighted Rounds putting toxic, and also our Absolute Zero buff putting our Absolute Zero gun put in freeze, that stack of damage is getting tallied onto them. So technically we're putting 35% damage on an enemy because of that. Plus, because it's frozen, they get an extra 90% damage increase just from the set active bonus. So if we started tallying all this, and we'll keep going through the list until we reach the end, that it's an insane amount of percentage right there. And we'll do the calculations after, or at least do a ballpark on that. So that's what we went for the waistlines, or the legs. We went for Euthanizer and Freezing Boost. Then last but not least, we went for gloves, which was Shatter. Deal 25% more damage against freeze. This is the tier 3 of the freeze. And then we went with Toxic Lead, which killing shots on enemies afflicted with toxic replenish 40% of your magazine. Now, I do want to voice something. There is a Blighted Rounds thing here where I'm going to go. Let's see, Blighted Rounds. If we go to mod, there is one for Blighted Rounds, but it's the same idea. It's the same thing. I think this is this. No. Increases critical blah, blah, blah. When the skill ends, while the skill active, grants you... yeah, you see? Killing shots grant you 30% extra bullets in your magazine. Toxic Lead is just way stronger in this, so that's why I kind of went that route, guys. Now, just to voice some stuff where I kind of voice it during the gameplay, but hypothetically, if you wanted to, you know, if you're playing with people, instead of going for a defensive build, you could go for a little more offensive. So you can do something where, you know, you increase the amount of ammunition you get back, you know, maybe stacking it. I haven't tried stacking to see if it does, but my assumption is you would get 70 bullets back from it, or 70% of it. Or you can actually, what I would prefer is the skill is effective for 1 additional magazine before triggering the cooldown if you're playing with people and, you know, they keep stealing your kills, and then putting another item specifically for damage. Like, you could also do increased critical damage by 15%, or something else that we haven't put in the list of items for damage output. So if you're playing with people, I would highly suggest, instead of putting a defensive chest, put something that is a little more offensive, so you can confirm that you're going to get those kills right off the bat. So that's pretty much it for that. Now, Borealis, we kind of discussed why we went with Toxic Lead instead of the Blighted ones. Killing shots on enemy afflicted with toxic replenished 40% of the ammo. And the other cool thing that I definitely do like conceptually about this is because you're using the Blighted Turret, technically that's putting toxic on enemies. So even if you're not... your Blighted Rounds is on cooldown, there's a really good potential if you placed it down and you're killing a specific target that has Blighted Turret on them, you'll get the bullets back. So that's also a really cool thing to keep in mind, guys. It's really nice. So that's why we went with Toxic Lead. And last but not least, we went with Boots of Borealis Monarch, which it has Sharp Eyes, so when we're aiming down, we get 16k for 3 times 20 seconds, which that's I think like 48k. And then 15%, it's the tier 2 of Euthanizer. Yeah, it's the tier 2 of Euthanizer called Radical Therapy, where we get 15% more damage against toxic enemies. So, enemies that have toxic on them. So, calculating all this together, Absolute Zero is going to put freezing on targets. Now, the only time it's not going to put freezing on targets, and I'll get to this later in the class talent tree discussion on why we didn't, why we were putting vulnerable specifically on toxic, is because even if they are invulnerable, like even if they're in that status where now you can't put any crowd control on them, you can still put toxic on them. They'll still do damage, so you put vulnerable on it instead of a freeze. You freeze the opponent. We have blighted rounds, so we're putting toxic on the opponent or the enemy. So then if we start stacking all these, we start going from all the way from the legs from this. 25% damage for the poison. 25% damage for the frost. That's 50% right there. So then 15% with the freezing boost. And then 15% with the toxic. So we're putting 80% damage on freezing and toxic together, plus the 90% from the bonus status. Now the secondary also critical hit damage increased by 10%. That really is a trash buff. 10% is really weak. If they did some absurd number, I'd be like, oh yeah, we totally should add Cold Snap to the build. But because it's only 10% increased crit damage, like there's mods that do way more on that. Like there's a mod that increases crit damage by 50% for like 5 seconds or something. Like it's just it's not great. And the fact that Cold Snap has a pretty long cooldown, what's the cooldown on it? It's a 19-second cooldown. That also makes it seem super weak. So I would never deal with a Cold Snap build in this unless they reduce the cooldown on it, or you know, the cooldown reduction makes it significant, or they drop that item to be lower so you could do it more and increase the crit damage. So Cold Snap is just stupid. So with that said, we did 80%, and if I did the calculations correctly, plus the bonus active, that's 170% damage increase. Let's go into the talent tree so you guys can see what I'm talking about at this point, what we go to next. This talent tree is actually very similar to the sower build we did. So if you saw the plague sower build, and someone corrected me on it, so thank you so much, because I kept saying plague sour, just because the way it's written. I mean, English is a funny language, but they said no, it's actually like sower, like you're sowing. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Now that makes sense. So we kind of went towards the tree of pestilence. I did do some messing around with Tech Shaman, and honestly, some of the main reasons I don't like it is because, one, it doesn't have the increased magazine size, and it also doesn't have the Assault Master. Like going into the Assault Master, like this tier is kind of a bit brutal. So you would have to do some sacrifices on some things if you started going down this talent tree. So that was kind of the reason why I didn't go for it, because you would need to put 3 points here. And it's like, if you start seeing all the increased weapon damage that's happening here, like look at this, long range weapon damage by 30%. Like I get that targets that are frozen here will receive 30% more damage, but long range damage is permanent when it comes to dealing with bosses that you're not able to freeze. So Sharpshooter is just really nice when it comes to it, and basically Fracture kind of takes a hit because you're dealing with bosses and you're not going to get that 30% buff. Now, I did also mess with seeing overclocked if you stack the Cryo turrets, if you drop 2 at the same time. Now, hypothetically, if you did buff by dropping 2 cryos, I would like 40%, 40%. I would have been like, all right, cool, maybe going into overclock, but you just lose the default baseline 20% increase assault weapon damage. It's not great. So this is the talent trees that we kind of went for, guys. I just wanted to voice why I didn't go for Tech Shaman. I did mess with it a bit because I was like, I was trying really hard to want to mess with Tech Shaman. I'm like, yo, you know what? This is a freeze build. Let's go in here. Let's see what we can do. And it's just with getting the reward, getting more blighted rounds back, ammunition, 40% of 50% of the increase with absolute zeros, becoming a 60 bullet magazine and getting 30 bullets back from it is just way too good with the increased damage from long range. Default ammo piercing when blighted rounds is down, if it gets down. Honestly, on my run, I played it bad. So that's the reason why it went down, honestly, guys. And I kind of voiced some of the techniques you can do. The only monsters that would really be brutal are going to be like the brood mothers. But there's techniques and ways to basically kill them while doing this build. And I wouldn't say it's brutal killing them, honestly. Like, instead of like, because all the other builds we did, we were able to kill a brood mother like in a couple of seconds. This one, like, you know, everything else dies quicker. But a brood mother takes like maybe 10 to 12 seconds like to kill. But you still feel insanely strong doing this when you kill everything else in like 2 seconds or a second. So just I can't wait for you guys to see this gameplay. Let me know what you guys think. I really hope you enjoy the content. Again, if it's your first time here, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button. Come join us on Discord. I love meeting gamers around the world. That's like why I love doing this and stuff. So come be part of this amazing community. Come hang out on the stream whenever you got free time. Love to get to know you guys, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Let me know in the comments below what you guys would like to see next, and I'll catch you guys later. Check out this gameplay. I hope you guys enjoy it. See ya. But we haven't done this type of level with these birds, and I want you to see like how amazing this build is just with any type of creature. The only creatures that will be very slow, that you just got to be a little cautious or be slow, will be brood mothers. But other than that, everything else we kill really good. Good stuff. Actually, maybe we can get rid of the snipers, because I know it's a little annoying to... it's going to be tough to get them from there. I love how the turrets randomly stay in air. Yup. Yup. It's like I just technically need to do like 3 shots when I'm like from far range, but I do love mowing them down. Someone's behind us, but we're going to keep moving forward. Did they just burn themselves? Just running into the fire? They did the same thing I did. I can't even try to knock them for it. Even the AI is acting funny. Let's drop some of these. Nope. Who is hitting us? Is he hitting us from there? Damn, man. That elite dropped. You saw that? I just love the combination of freeze with the poisons. It's really awesome. And just the further away we are, the more damage we do. So that's what I really love about this build, is that it's good close range and it's amazing far range. It's gratifying when you see them drop that quick. Let's throw some stuff. I think there's an elite there. Yeah, look at the captain. You saw how far he dropped in that distance? It was tough to see him amidst the poisons, but I'm sure you guys definitely saw him. And even though this is like 60 bullets and 60 bullets run quick, we're always being topped off on the ammunition. Like I said, the only time it'll be very weird will probably be the brood mothers, but I mean, I'll show you guys like some techniques you guys can do when it comes to that. Like basically you can shoot the Broodmother a bit, then you can, even if you don't have the buff for the poison, I mean, you'll have the turret to kind of help you still do damage. It's just the piercing that will take away from it. But we do have some passive piercing just in case. You see, from close range, it takes a little bit, but we still can take them out.
The way through to the peak is blocked. Must be a way past it.
But that elite can drop so much quicker. Okay, so here we go. Let's do this. Oh, I didn't have my buff. My bad. That alpha dropped, baby. I'm just gonna no-scope this. And the best part of this is, like, if you do freeze them, if they stay alive long enough, you can start capping some headshots. The only one that is, like, super weird on doing headshots on is, like, the Broodmother. I don't really know why the head doesn't get registered. It's very weird. But for Broodmothers, like, I shoot them in their head, but it's like, nope, that's not where it's gonna crit. Maybe their body just has better, like, a certain resistance to crit that I don't know about. Because it happens kind of with the spider as well. When you're dealing with the spider boss, you hit a certain area and it's like, oh yeah, it critted, but then you hit it again a few more times, it doesn't. If you guys know, leave a comment below. But like Broodmother, I always aim for the face, but it's not always happening consistently. It was just something that's always been plaguing my mind here. We're gonna play some things here. Like, the further away you are, the safer you are, but the more damage you do. It's like there really is no bad takeaway from shooting from afar. And I should be dropping the toxic turret a little better, but like it should be more consistent, but it's not. Look at that. Let me just take care of these guys real quick. Oh, my turret took them out. Okay. That's the best part of having the turrets. I'm getting hit from the side. That's a little annoying. I'm like, yo, let me... Uh-oh. If you just... Oh, no. I was like, if he just doesn't hit us... There we go. And those enemies usually are annoying, but with this build it isn't. They aren't. I actually really enjoy it. We're still at full ammunition because we haven't reset it on our bullets, so that's good. Like, this is a really good solo build. Like, it's really nice. It's fun to just kill so many things really quick. Here's the Broodmother. So the Broodmother, you're not going to do as great damage, but you can always refill on ammunition by killing the small adds and then just going back to her. See? And I'll go back. And they're not going to really do anything. I should buff my power by hitting. You see, I just... It's so random. There. I would say the Broodmother only takes a little longer. Everyone else drops. Oh, there's the bird. I love killing these birds now with this build. It's like no stress whatsoever. Like this gun just works good on everything. I'm gonna place some turrets. Oh, he thought he was gonna get us. Nope. They die so quick. I'm like trying to stop the bullets so you guys can see how many shots it takes, but I just can't. I can't. I'm like, yo. People say they got a heavy foot when they drive, man. I got a heavy finger right now. Like, oh, there's a bird. There was a bird. That thing fell. I'm not even getting headshots. I'm not even getting crits. That's the part that makes it amazing. Oh, so good. This really is a gratifying build because it's like it feels like you're very accurate on the damage where you're shooting and you just see things drop. That's really what I do love about this.
Good call, Denim.
Now, because we do a lot of damage already, you can swap some of the mods that I showed you guys to, you know, be a little more defensive if you start having problems with that. Like, thank you. Gonna just take care of that bird real quick. The birds are just annoying. I just like making sure I got all of them. Where the heck did he go? Oh, there's another one right there. Ooh, he tried to get us. Ain't happening, kiddo. He's still alive. Yeah. Not anymore. Let's buff a little bit. Put some turrets down. Now, what I would say is if you are playing with people, the mods I showed you are kind of like good for solo, but if you're playing with people, you don't have to put defensive mods. You could put more offensive mods to do more damage. So that's like the important part. And that you do that so people don't they don't steal your kills so you can keep the bullet alive. You know what I mean, guys? You could keep the not is it twisted bullets? I keep mixing up the trickster's bullets with our bullets. Sorry. It's just I play so many classes at this point that yeah, it just flies over my head, especially while we're fighting right now. But obviously, I'll say it correctly. I said it correctly like earlier on when I was showing you guys because I wanted to be accurate on that. But right now, we handling these aliens, baby. Oh, sorry, bro. Where's... Oh, there's one more bird. I love seeing that. Don't you dare! I haven't been putting turrets down. That's been my part. Just playing bad. Hit him for 400. And with how fast these bullets fire, like 400k, that's like, you could literally do a few million just by like shooting in a second. It's insane. I'm placing the turrets down. Oh, we messed up the... Because I was so tunneled. I was so tunneled on the stuff that I was going for the boss. That's my bad, fam. Now, this is how it is when you're just playing with this. You're going to see. It's not bad. It's not bad. And the further you go back, the more damage you do. You see, we were starting to do 100k. Even these guys drop quick. Like, it's not as quick... But it's quick. Like, even this boss. Look at this. Oh. I'm stuck. The game got me stuck. There we go. We're going back. I'm going to take care of all these guys really quick. Let me see if I could take care of this bird. Yeah. Back in business. Yeah, I tunneled because I went for the boss and I like unloaded most of my clip instead of going for the other guys. And then my turret killed him. That was basically, I didn't refill the ammunition there. But this is a perfect example of like something really good. I definitely do love it.
They blocked the passage and trapped the creatures here.
That's why the insurgents have been camped up there. But with what end goal?
Probably tried to wait them out. So they'd starve and eat each other. The pod's secure now.
Good work, Altered. And thank you for clearing that infestation. You've made my life easier for about 7 minutes.
But yeah, like so this is like a good build for running solo. Absolutely love it. But like I said, guys, if you're deciding to play with a team, like I think the only main piece that I did defensive was this Brood Mother Mantle. Like I would change it to something more aggressive. Like I would put something that, you know, would increase crit damage or whatever. Anything that we haven't added into our repertoire to increase our damage, you could just do that. And then basically now you're just, yeah, you'll be a glass cannon-ish, but it won't be too bad because you're going to have other people on your team, but you're going to be draining people like crazy. But I definitely do love having this for solo run, because by the time you kind of get all these stacks of things, you're going to get 52k. So our armor goes already up to 100k, and then we're going to get 45k times 3. We already go over the 200k mark, which kind of helps us like basically survive C15 without a problem. But I definitely do love just this. So let's get back out.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, if this is your first time here and you're watching from YouTube, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you ever come to Twitch, definitely be sure to hit that follow button. Come join us on Discord. The link is below in the YouTube description. Also, last but not least, I want to say major shout outs to the sponsors. If you guys also wanted to financially support the stream, definitely be sure to check out that YouTube description below. There is a Patreon link. And if you can't support financially, don't worry guys, there's other ways you can actually show support. That's getting the word out, sharing the content, letting friends and loved ones know about this this channel. Tell them to come and hang out. Come join us on Discord. You will not regret it. It's the best community / family ever. It says it right there on the freaking board. Yo, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you guys next time. Let me know in the comments below what you would like to see next, what you think about the video, and so on. I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.